Hey guys, Mike here. So happy 2022, and I figured I'd start off with one of my favorite subjects, which is insider trading and our politicians who I love so much. And of course, Nancy Pelosi came out with her year-end trades, and boy, are they some doozies. And man, I'm going to show you exactly why she is probably one of the most disliked politicians and why politicians in general are just disliked, but how successful her husband is, who's actually the one that buys these shares, and how great a stock picker this guy has been over the last 2 years because the numbers are unbelievable. Nobody can hold a candle to this guy. And of course, like I always say, when you got insider information, boy, it sure does help out, right? So, if you get anything out of it, hit the like and subscribe button for me, guys. And let's go ahead and get into these trades and why she is just so infamous, I guess is the best word I can use. And so here's Nancy's year-end trades here. Came out December 29th. You can see there's a transaction date on the right there. And if we just click on the report, you can see in more detail here. We got Google. She purchased 10 call options with a strike price of $2,000. So deep in the money call options, expiring 9/16/2022. And if we go to the chart, you can see she's already up around 2.2%. At least the stock is. The options are up even more than that. And then if you go into your next trade here, you're looking at Micron, where they purchased 100 call options with a strike price of $50. And then, Micron's already over $100, guys. So this is deep in the money. The stock's already up 15%, so they are up massively in these options already. And then on the third purchase, you're looking at some real estate there, so we don't need to worry about that. And then going to the next stock, you're looking at Roblox, which was kind of a surprise to me on this one. Purchased this one on 12/20, got another 100 call options, strike price, which is in the money now at 100 because it just crossed over 100, I believe. So stock's up about 7% since they bought it. I don't know how much the options are up. So if you're a stock options expert, maybe you have a calculation for that to tell us. Either way, they're already starting to make a killing starting off the year. And what they're looking at is to see if we can get back to that high right there. And then, of course, the next one, Salesforce, made 2 purchases, 100 call options with a strike price of $210, and then another 30 call options with a strike price of $210, expiring 1/20/2023. And then if you look right here, they purchased it right here for the first one. The second was a little lower than that. It's only up about 2% on the stock, but the stock is moving in the right direction, and you can see where the high was, right? This has been getting just hammered down. So that's what they're betting on right there. And then, of course, the last one is Disney, right? And so Disney, they end up purchasing 50 call options with a strike price of $130, expiration 9/16/2022, which is really where the majority of these are supposed to be expiring, which is September 16th of this year. And you can see Disney's already starting to move back up. They're looking to get back up here to this high, though. And of course, one positive thing looking at that is it's tech, right? Which is good. I mean, Disney's tech, right? I mean, it's not about the parks anymore. It's about the streaming services, the sports channels they own, Hulu, all that kind of stuff. And so, it's bullish, especially for the first 3 quarters, because a lot of those options expire in September. So they're obviously expecting the market to move, especially these stocks in general. So I own the Microns. I'm hoping they're right on this one, and let it move up, which is a good thing. But one of the reasons why she is probably the most popular politician as far as people following and trying to mimic what her husband is buying is simply this right here.
The reason why Nancy, though, became so popular, or Speaker Pelosi, became so popular was because every trade she was making inevitably turned out to be such a long-term winner. It started early in 2020 with CrowdStrike, and then she bought Tesla, and then there were some laws passed that were pro for the EV market. She bought Google, and then the laws came out that they weren't going to go after big tech. And then she just recently bought NVIDIA. And we've been tracking these performances, and every single stock she's bought in the last 2 years have gone up significantly, albeit the entire market has gone up significantly. But these are very, very risky bets, too, because she's buying leap options as opposed to just stock. So I think we haven't been able to run the exact numbers of how much her performance is up over the last 2 years, but every single stock she has bought has been up around 20 to 30% since her initial investment.
And the trade he's referring to is right here, guys, NVIDIA. I pointed this out in another video. They purchased 5,000 shares on July 23rd, and then they ended up purchasing options as well for this stock. And as you can see right here, guys, I mean, since they purchased this in July, then you had the news come out. It ran up around 17%. And then total this year, at least at one point in time, it was up 76%. And remember, they own 5,000 shares and all those options. And so you can see right here, they're not the only politician that piled into this, having that insider knowledge that they were going to be buying a supercomputer from NVIDIA. All these politicians got in as well. Right here, as you can see their names, whether it was their spouse, their kids, whether it was them, or they just didn't disclose it. Some of these you can even see on another video I did, how long it took them to disclose they actually made these purchases, which is kind of disturbing in another sense. And so that's what I was referring to about, her husband being probably the best stock picker over the last 2 years because, well, the information he's getting from his wife, which there's no doubt about it, that is invaluable. Can you imagine knowing when the government's going to be making purchases, when laws are going to be coming out, when trials or hearings are going to be held, and then what's going to be the outcome before it even gets announced to the public? Unbelievable. And they have access to what the Fed's doing. They know exactly what the Fed's doing way before we do, so they can make moves well in advance. The one thing she does tend to do is actually report hers pretty quickly, which is actually good. Some of these guys are taking over a year to report. They're supposed to report within 45 days. Okay, and since they're doing options, guys, they've made probably, 50 to 100 million easy over the last 2 years on these options, I'm thinking. Google, Tesla, you saw in the NVIDIA thing, just countless others. And so, the other reason why she's very disliked is because of this.
Insider just completed a 5-month investigation finding that 49 members of Congress and 182 senior congressional staffers have violated the Stock Act, the insider trading law. I'm wondering if you have any reaction to that, and secondly, should members of Congress and their spouses be banned from trading individual stocks while serving in Congress?
No, I don't know to the second one. We have a responsibility to report on the stock, but I'm not familiar with that 5-month review, but if people aren't reporting, they should be. Because this is a free market and we're a free market economy. They should be able to participate in that.
That is the dumbest shit I have ever heard in my life.
And, one reason this is so, honestly, dangerous for the country, that these politicians don't believe that they need to be held to a different standard and not allowed to trade. The Fed presidents are having restrictions put on them after they got busted. You have hedge fund managers with restrictions, CEOs, CFOs with restrictions on them, but they get to trade willy-nilly, no problem. And you see, that's one of the leaders right there. And the rest of them, McConnell, all the rest of them, same thing. Doesn't matter what your party affiliation is, they're all doing it, right? And again, there is no true federal law they've ever passed outlawing insider trading. It's just made up of different kind of court decisions and other kind of laws or whatever. They've been piecemealed together by judges. That's why each one are different. That's why you don't see a lot of people getting prosecuted for it, right? And I proved right here on this channel that it goes on all the time, for crying out loud, especially from board members. Nothing's done because there's not a true one federal law that says this is it, because they won't pass it, right? Because people like her who say, oh, no. It's a free market with all this information we have. We make the laws. We know what the Fed is doing. All this stuff, we should be able to participate too because it's equal. Give me a break. I think we know how I feel about that, and I'm curious to know how you feel about that. But, especially when you see the performance they're putting in here. It's unbelievable. They're killing the S&P. Are you kidding? Maybe probably easily killing the S&P. With these results, they're killing every investor out there. As far as their record is concerned, it's unbelievable. And I'll tell you another reason why I think a lot of those options she has expires in September-ish is because of the midterm elections that are in November. And historically, what happens is the party that gets elected, as far as like the president's a Democrat, then that party usually loses in the midterm. So you can expect the Republicans to take the Senate and probably the House as well. And so I have no doubt, who knows, the stock market don't really go either way on that. I've checked it. It's all over the place. But, again, that means if they lose the House, she's out of power there, right? About what bills can come to the floor, everything else. She controls everything, right? So I have no doubt that's one reason they're doing it. And plus, the stock market can be very volatile around midterms, depending on which way it goes and what's going on in the market. And so, the good thing is, if you're in those stocks, looking to get in those stocks, there's a guideline for you. You see the past performance as well. I'll put videos at the end that I've done on this before so you can see it. I always keep the members up to date on this stuff. At least I try. And so, you know, it's one of those things where at least they look bullish on it. They look really bullish on it. They're putting a lot of, that was millions of dollars in purchases right there. Just in that one little disclosure, not including all the rest they still own because they didn't put any sales out there, right? And so that's something to look at right there. Because when you're buying leap options, you're believing the market's going to go up. That's just the way it is. And so anyway, it kind of gives me a good laugh, kind of aggravates me too. But at least you can look at that and say, all right, we see what they think is going to happen in the market and everything, especially dealing with these particular companies. And so, yeah, definitely something I'm going to be looking into. Let me know in the comments what you're doing. And if you like videos like this, let me know as well, okay? So let's start off the new year right. Have a great 2022. Be safe, happy, and enjoy your family and everything else, okay, guys? I'll see you later.